Today we're going to look at sentence combining with important words. You can learn to combine sentences in several ways to help avoid repetitiveness, add sentence variety, and to make your sentences more complex. There are three main strategies. Number one is share a word. Two, insert a group of words like phrase from one sentence into another sentence. And three, you can combine two related sentences by using a connecting word. This tutorial will focus on teaching you to combine sentences with one word. Let's take a look at a way to use this strategy. After reading two related sentences, see if you can notice if the second sentence begins with the pronoun. Let's look at this example. Martin Luther King Jr. was a civil rights leader. He was an American. If you notice, the second sentence begins with the pronoun he, and it replaces the noun Martin Luther King Jr. in the first sentence. Now, notice how the verb was is followed by an adjective that describes the noun in the previous sentence. It was an American. To combine them, pull the key word from the second sentence, which would be the adjective American, and insert it into the first sentence next to the noun it describes. So now it should read, Martin Luther King Jr. was an American civil rights leader. Sometimes you can just add the keyword in the first sentence and drop the rest of the second sentence. Other times you will need to change the form of the keyword before you can insert it. Let's look at another example. He was famous for his brilliant speeches. His fame was international. Now notice how the second sentence begins with the word fame that can be found in the first sentence, famous. Even though they're being used as different parts of speech, they have the same meaning. These are called derivatives. When I combine sentences, I don't need to repeat the same word. So I will eliminate the noun fame and keep the adjective famous. I need to look at the remaining words to see what important word is left in the second sentence that I can still add to the first one. Remember that linking verbs have nouns or adjectives that connect back to the subject to identify or describe them. In the second sentence, I'm left with the adjective international that is describing his fame. So if I place international in front of famous in the first sentence, it will read, he was international famous for his brilliant speeches. I can't have an adjective modifying another adjective. I need a derivative, a word that means the same but functions as another part of speech. So I will change the adjective international to an adverb, internationally, that can modify an adjective. So when it's combined, it will read, he was internationally famous for his brilliant speeches. Now, after sentence combining, be sure to read your new sentence carefully, asking yourself the following questions. Is my new sentence clear? Does it make sense? And does it sound better than the two shorter sentences?